Hello and welcome to A Star to Steer Her By, episode... Oh, fuck, what is this episode? I didn't check.
265.
Sure, 265 maybe, unless we realize we're wrong.
I think that's right.
The title says otherwise.
I mean, you can take it again.
Nah, it's okay.
Whoa.
This week...
I'm not gonna woo that introduction.
This week, everything ends in a bummer on Voyager with real life and distant origin.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, they are both a bummer, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. First up, in real life, there's a B-plot that only exists to justify having the rest of the cast show up. Meanwhile, the Doctor has made himself a holo-family, which is straight out of the worst 1950s sitcom. Then he invites B'Elanna and Kes for dinner. B'Elanna is like, you fucking jackass, and reprograms it with what she calls randomizers, but really is just everything she can think of to drive the Doctor crazy.
I knew it.
Wreck your Dale-anizers.
Yeah.
That explains a lot, B'Elanna.
Instead of having a Stepford wife slave, he has a wife with a life and career, which means she's not around to tidy up and clean all the time, so he suddenly has to pull his own weight, the poor little baby.
Time for a divorce.
His perfect son is
Delete the wife.
Yeah. His perfect son is now friends with Klingons, which lets us find out some of the Doctor's racist side. Hope B'Elanna doesn't hear about that, by the way.
I think she was baiting him.
Maybe. Probably. Definitely. And his daughter is really into Parisi squares, which it turns out is, like, super dangerous.
I knew this.
Well, yeah, but dear God.
Yeah, but it doesn't even say... I mean,
Yeah, hold on,
I don't
hold on,
mean to, I know, but, like, it's not even like she just died because of Parisi squares. She died because of, like... She could have just banged her head in a door jamb and had the same thing, you know?
So. But yeah. As Caitlin has said... his daughter is eventually killed, and that brings the family together, and he'll probably never run the program again. But yeah, he tries to sort of treat the family like he would a disease with very forthright, thoughtful nonsense, and none of it works. His son resents and hates him, his wife thinks he's a moron, and yeah, eventually his daughter dies playing Parisi squares, and he tries to avoid facing that until Tom is like, yeah, you're never gonna move on if you don't finish up this game of The Sims.
You're a bad dad, EMH.
Bad dad, and worse...
Kenneth.
Yeah, Kenneth. What's the frequency?
I remember saying, like, bro, she's the only one that likes you, and she's the one who gets hurt. That sucks for you.
That's real life.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Said the title.
yeah, yes, she did in both episodes, actually. Also say the title week. And yeah, like I said, there was a B-plot with, like...
Bees.
Energy waves
I
that
followed none of it.
blew up. Yeah.
I wasn't even paying attention. At one point, we're, like, halfway through the episode, and I was like, what are they doing? I haven't been paying attention to anything with the Doctor.
Again, it literally just existed so that, like, they could justify paying the rest of the cast. Yeah, there's an energy wave. It blew up the space station of some aliens they were going to be buddies with, but oh well. And then they think they might be able to harness it, and Tom goes out in a shuttle, and he winds up in another dimension for a little bit, but he comes back, hooray. The real point of it was the EMH plotline.
And I'm Jake.
Oh yeah, we didn't say who we were.
Caitlin.
Ames.
Kenneth! Wait, no, Chris.
Yay, we've done it. The visuals of the space cyclone hurricane thing were pretty okay.
The dimension or the, like, weird hourglass thing itself?
I'd say both. I was okay with both.
Yeah, that's right. I will say the weird dimension was neat looking.
Yeah, but like you said, followed none of it. Why was it the better idea to bring a shuttle into it where it would get torn apart instead of the Voyager?
Something about it causing a lesser reaction because it was smaller.
Yeah, because they were worried that the warp engines themselves or something was going to ignite.
Like whenever they cut to that storyline, I just kind of
zoned right out.
Oh, appropriately though, considering that the opening, 3 minutes was a cheesy sitcom, this episode was directed by Anson Williams, better known as Potsy on Happy Days. Turns out after that he did a shitload of TV directing.
Oh, wow.
Tons. He did, I think 5 episodes of Star Trek, 2 of DS9, 3 of this, I want to say Memory Alpha said, but I might be wrong. But yeah, aside from that, everything.
How many Murder, She Wrote?
I don't remember, although, funny you bring that up.
It's always Murder, She Wrote somehow.
Literally, he said something about Murder, She Wrote, and I was like, oh good, Ames will be so pleased that we have a reason to talk about Murder, She Wrote today.
So the mother, I was like, I know her name, but she's not familiar. It turns out she is the voice of the wife in American Dad, but was in an episode of Murder, She Wrote called Ghost Nan, which immediately brought Sub Rosa to mind.
There you go.
And I forgot to look up the daughter, but the son wasn't in much beyond Star Trek.
The daughter actually looked familiar.
Oh, the daughter was decent, too.
Yeah,
I've
she
actually
was.
seen a lot of people giving her accolades for this episode because she didn't suck as a child.
No,
she
she
great.
didn't, which is rare,
she's
especially
great.
in Star Trek.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, and to be fair, not just in Star Trek, just like in life.
Well, true, but I just, our main focus is this for this. Except for...
Well, that, and I was going to say, or Batman, or
Murder,
She Wrote, as it turns out.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you had something to say.
No, I was hoping somebody else was going to say something.
Well, you're the one who said
Well,
so...
I feel like I had something to say, but then you, like, steamrolled past it, so
Sorry.
I don't remember what it was.
What does Jake have to say?
Yeah, how about those Klingons, huh?
They sucked.
Those are some
Did they?
Who?
Yes.
Larg and Kakath?
rough and tumble characters there.
It sounds too much like Cacao, which just makes me think of Portlandia.
I was definitely put off by, like, no Klingon friends. Like, wow, Doc, racist.
Well, is it no
Friends with
Klingon
some
friends, or
Vulcans, you
is
son of a
is
bitch.
it friends with those Klingons? Because
Well, that's what, like, one thing to say, I don't want you to see these two people specifically because
Yeah.
they seem like trouble. But
they
he
were
said...
clearly
and they're-
drug dealers.
And
Yeah.
they're not good actors either.
No.
Clearly drug
Like, here's-
dealers.
like-
I thought the same thing.
Yeah,
he
they-
walks in the house, and there's that tray of crystals out or whatever, and I was like, oh my god, is this what future drugs look like? But then he's just mad about the knife, and I was like, oh, we're focusing
Yeah, they were
on
using
the
the knife to cut lines, okay?
Yeah, no shit. Like, yeah, oh, we're doing a ritual. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
called blow.
But that's the thing, is like, he didn't say, I don't want you to see those two clearly sketchy individuals. He said no Klingon
Wow,
friends.
clearly sketchy individuals, racist.
You
Wow.
just said they are clearly drug
Wow,
dealers.
Chris. Jeez.
So...
Yeah, because they were dealing drugs.
It did sound like, though, when they was walking, it's like, so this is gonna, like, it sounded like they were planning a heist. So I don't know what exactly was
A
going on.
drug heist.
Yeah, they were gonna go rip off some dealers.
I mean, hey, if you can get away with it, to quote another podcast, or paraphrase, robbing from drug dealers is great. They can't call the cops.
What's interesting to me about the doctor's family, after B'Elanna plays with it, is that it's very much a 20th century family having 20th century family problems.
It's like Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, it's like it's
Well, it was
it's-
already kind of a 20th century family,
yeah,
the idealized version.
but that's the thing, right? So, like, in Star Trek, everything is idealized. You would expect the family to be, if not worshipping the Doctor, I don't know. I don't think I would expect a Star Trek era family to have, problems with, those rough and tumble
I don't know,
Klingons.
it's not that idealized. I mean, we saw in First Duty, Wesley got caught up in a crowd that ended up not being good for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but again, their whole thing was that they were too ambitious, I guess, like,
They were filthy liars, Locarno.
well, they were. They
I mean,
sure were.
I will say, I don't care how idealized your society is. Unless you got a robot to do it for you, children will never clean their own room.
Mm.
So that's believable
Well, that's the
enough.
other thing. Like, where's the maid robot?
the robot maid,
The
Rosie.
robot help.
Yeah.
There is a weird lack of robots in Star Trek.
Mm.
Yeah,
like-
I love it.
Like, I know that there's the whole, like, I get that the Sung positronic brain is a breakthrough that no one else is able to replicate yet, but
But we've got Roombas.
yeah, like they don't even have like
A Roomba.
a robot that, picks stuff up and like it doesn't have to be intelligent, it just know how to clean a room, which I imagine by the 24th century they should be able to do.
Wow, so you're saying that being able to do cleaning is not intelligent work?
Wow, Chris.
I'm honestly mortified right now
Yeah,
by
fuck
this
both of you.
attitude.
Just go to hell.
I'm just surprised they don't just have exocomps floating around.
Yeah.
Exocomps are sentient. You
Picking
can't
up
do
picking
that.
up
That's true.
underwear. But imagine how miserable it would be.
You need all the F8s from Picard.
Well, they
and-
don't exist yet, because...
What? Oh, well, also, yeah, the things from Discovery don't exist yet.
Nope.
What else do we have?
We have exocomps.
Just
That's it.
data. Data and exocomps.
Data, clean my room.
They just have, they still call them Roombas, but they're full human-shaped robots with pincers now, and they can pick up your stuff and put it in a closet.
Well, they gotta have they probably just repurposed all those Stellas.
There you go.
Hardcore!
Kenneth!
Yeah, it also struck me as strange. So this family that Kenneth builds for himself,
Fucking Kenneth.
named after one of the writers, Kenneth Biller, which is quite funny.
Oh, I thought he was named after Kenneth Kniff.
Don't know who that is.
No, it's just an Eminem joke from the 90s.
Good. Is that, he builds this family, but he builds it not in, like, the Star Trek backdrop. Like, when they fight over who's going to make dinner, it's like, you guys don't have a replicator? Why are you making
But
it
she
this
even
hard for
said at
yourself?
the beginning that she replicated stuff. So making dinner sounds like it pretty much is just replicating it.
Yeah, cleaning the room isn't, cleaning the room. It's you take everything on the floor and you throw it in the replicator.
So in this fantasy so obviously the family aren't holograms because they need to eat. But is the Doctor also not a hologram? Like, is this...
Whoa.
Is he role-playing as a human?
Wow. This blew my mind.
Because he has to cook dinner.
Yeah, he's probably just...
I mean,
like you said,
did they make those kids?
I was just going to say, did
old-fashioned
they
way?
actually have sex to have children?
No.
What do you mean, no?
It does strike me as weird that he, goes into the holodeck even when he's not having company. Because you think he could just run all this in the computer as a program. But, I mean, how many times we brought up the fact they really don't treat him like a program, the writers. So.
And also, someone else might want to use holodeck too.
Exactly.
What if someone else is in there?
That's what I mean. It just seems like unless you want to have company, he should be able to just be in the computer running this.
Maybe this is considered some kind of doctor privilege, and he just that's just his holodeck.
I was going to say,
now.
it might... given that he's basically been elevated to a crew member, he should have some kind of quarters, right? That are not just...
I think he asked for quarters at one point. I don't know if they ever gave them any.
Maybe they just said, just use the holodeck when you need to.
Yeah, just take the holodeck away from someone who wants to go to Sandrines.
Well, they're trying to save energy. Maybe it's lower energy for him to do it somehow.
I don't know, but that was my first thought when it's like, okay, Torres swoops in, says, Doc, I've got just the program for you. Stop playing The Sims. We're going to play Grand Theft Auto instead. And we're going to kick it up several notches, and Jeffrey's going to have knocked up Sandrine.
Yeah, what other, horrible scenarios could they have had happen in this? So they had the son being a delinquent.
He traded in his Jake Sisko vest.
How horrible this family is. Their son's a delinquent. Their daughter gets severely injured playing dangerous sports. The wife has a job. Oh my god, this is heinous.
The little woman.
Just destroying the fabric of Federation life.
They didn't even have a pet.
That's
they
true.
should have had a dog.
No one in Voyager has a pet. That's, I think, the biggest difference you see in this show from other shows is there's no animals.
Well, Tom has Harry.
Man.
What?
Well,
all the pets died when the caretaker sucked them to the other side of the galaxy.
Yeah, I said that at one point. It's like, man, how do you, bribe your children to be good in a post-scarcity society? You can't be like, here's money, stop being awful.
no, but you give them freedoms. That's what I said. Allowing your child to stay out an extra hour late or whatever. Not that... Well, actually... So here's a good question. If you live in a society where they have, transporters and shit, could you not just, literally set your kids up with some kind of device that pulls them home at curfew?
That'd be annoying.
It would.
Sounds like a Black Mirror episode or two.
I think whenever we've seen, a small personal transporter like that, it's always referred to as being, experimental or something.
But they use their...
No, that's Discovery, which is set 1,000 years later.
Don't they... Yeah, but don't they... Oh, no, they just use it to lock on. Never mind.
Yeah.
But I just feel like in the holodeck, at least, he could probably do that.
Well, yeah, but he's trying to be semi-realistic.
Yeah, especially at the beginning.
Well, again, that part. That's why I said semi. I did like his dinette set chairs. They were lovely.
I missed it.
They're very nice. I'll give him that. He has good taste for furniture.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the more interesting things about this episode, and I just watched the Steve Shives episode on this.
You think the dinette set is the most interesting thing about this episode?
I really do. No, the thing that's kind of interesting is that, so the Doctor creates this thing for himself, so that he can learn, more human stuff, to get the kind of human-y experience of, what being a family is. But it's only for him. It's not doing what would actually happen in an actual family. He does this because he wants to check it off the list so that he can feel like he's done something.
Yeah.
And then when the family evolves or gets reprogrammed, again he's trying to treat them as if it's a challenge for him.
Yeah.
And not that they're actual people, which makes it a little interesting because I was also thinking these people don't know they're holograms. Mm-hmm. Like some of our more developed hologram friends, like the EMH or Vic Fontaine or Moriarty, know they're holograms, and that's why they're able to develop. These people can't develop; they can only be programmed.
Yeah.
So I kind of wonder if he'd allowed them to develop, if he would have learned more.
Maybe.
Well, maybe, except for that one of his kids then dies. Jesus Christ.
I'm surprised he didn't make the wife look like his Vidian girlfriend.
Aw, what was that, Denara?
Now then they'd have had to have got that actress again.
True.
Aw, I liked her.
No, so did I. I'm just...
They got her back for one random episode.
That's true, they did. So,
No, maybe she's busy. We don't know her life.
Well,
I
feel
did like that it was, what's her name from American Dad, though. That feels very right somehow. Because I feel like she's that sort of idealized wife thing in that show, too.
Piece of commentary.
I enjoyed it very much.
yeah, once I realized it was her, that's all I could hear. And it was so weird.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I didn't appreciate this fucking episode giving me all these feelings.
Oh yeah, the ending was really nice,
Oh
and
my
it makes
God.
me really kind of upset because I've been reading the Delta Quadrant, this unofficial Voyager guide, and he gave this episode 0 out of 10 stars because he hated the ending so much.
But we established already
he's a
that
pretty
Ryder's an
unreliable
idiot, right?
narrator. This guy.
He's incredibly subjective over these kinds of things, and he says the ending. Actually, let me find the quote. 'Cause
He
the
has
quote is
bad
absurd.
taste from everything you've said
Yeah, I
about
was gonna
him.
say, I feel like I disagree with almost everything this man says.
Yeah, here's the quote. The quote is, "Not a great episode, but with some unintentional hilarity. The deathbed scene had me rolling about with laughter, as it seemed to be aiming for the highest number of soap opera cliches used in a single scene."
I mean...
I hate that person.
I mean, it was fairly...
Melodramatic.
Yeah.
What it was supposed to be. It was the effect of it. Like, it was a holodeck program showing the Doctor how horrible real life is.
Yeah, but did you notice that when his wife and son came in at the very end, they looked like they did at the beginning?
A little bit, yeah.
Like the wife had the original haircut that she had. She didn't have the power businesswoman haircut, and the son wasn't wearing his Klingon do. So I wonder if the Doctor did some reprogramming in the for that last moment, so that his family would not be bitchy at him.
So they wouldn't hate him.
No, I
Yeah.
think he went back genuinely.
Well, then why did they look different? Why did the wife and son suddenly
Maybe
look
that was meant to be a visual way of showing us that peace has been reached organically through the methods he's using. Like, the whole point was you have to go back because part of, like, a family being together is getting through these tough times. So I wonder if it was a visual cue showing us that this was actually happening.
Maybe.
And,
I
yeah,
also
mean,
think that they wanted to dress up nice for Belle's last moments.
yeah, I was gonna, like, certainly in his son's case, like, he's got issues with his old man, but, maybe with...
I loved that he brought her blankie.
That was very cute.
I was so upset by this. I
mean,
was fucking crying. Like,
For all the melodrama, it was acted well enough that I think they get away with it.
I agree with that.
What was very frustrating was that the latest fucking glitch with Paramount Plus is that it has decided the credits are supposed to begin about 3 minutes before the end of the episode.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So it just skipped to
Oh,
the next
God.
episode. We had to restart it, and then same thing happened next episode. I fucking hate that app.
Oh my
7 years
God.
old.
I was so upset. I was like, oh my god, it was such an emotional place.
Garbage. Absolute garbage.
Yeah, that destroys the ending if you have to stop mid-tier and go
It
back.
I noticed, almost never happens with the newer Treks. So it's like they're just literally dedicating less bandwidth and time on everything except their flagship products
Well,
now.
it's because these ones come out on that network, so they know exactly where the ending's gonna fall and all this
Well,
shit.
this has never happened before. It's just a fun new glitch they've decided to have.
Yay!
Also, I always, every Voyager episode we've watched has crashed at least once midstream.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, it's a garbage app. So yeah, it did kind of fuck up the flow of the dramatic climax of the episode, so that was fun.
We got back to it very easily, though.
It
was a very
just-
Okay,
sad
prepare to
scene.
cry more and go.
I was so mad. I was like, God damn it, Star Trek.
So, so he was... At first, he was like, I don't want to deal with this dead child thing, so I'm just going to shut down the program and never go back to it. And then Tom convinces him that, no, you kind of got to play it out.
Mm.
But, he only plays out the death.
Oh yeah, he never goes back.
Yeah,
into
he's
that.
never gone back.
there's so much other shit now. The psychological problems that he and his family are going to have to deal with as a result of losing a child.
Throwing all of Belle's stuff into the replicator.
I was saying that. I was like, wow, you and your wife are going to be divorced within 6 months.
Yeah.
You're not going to make it through that.
No, he's just never gonna turn that program back on.
No, I mean, I'm sure we're supposed to pretend he sticks with it, but
No,
this show has very little continuity. So.
Yeah, and even if he does, I would wish that they'd at least drop a hint somewhere For him to like say like, oh yeah, I just got back from dinner with the family, and nope, we're just never going to hear from it again because that's how this series do.
Well, my son almost immediately went back to his friends and killed a guy as part of that ritual.
There was a robbery. It did not end well.
And now his second child has died.
Oh gosh. So I liked the scene where Tom convinces the EMH to go back in because the whole time I'm reading it as this is Tom admitting he misses his salamander babies and he wishes he could go back. He's like, I will never have closure with my salamander babies because fucking Chakotay just decided to leave them.
I mean,
See,
a
here I
bird
thought
has definitely eaten those babies by now.
And they were delicious. Here I thought you were going to make a, like, Tom and his dad have problems type reference, but nope. Salamander babies.
Always salamander babies.
See, that's what I had said was, when the doctor was bitching at him and being like, you must have been, driven your parents mad. It's like, wow, Doc, you surely have read my psychological profile and know my history with my father, so thanks for bringing that up, you bald asshole.
Oh my god. Remember the episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where Larry's trying to say that bald asshole is like a slur? And the cop's like, well, I'm bald. With all due respect, officer, you shaved your head, you chose to be bald. Because they scrawled bald asshole on his door.
I'm sure he earned it.
Yeah, well, no, on this one I think he's kind of right, because these girls who are, like, kind of too old to be trick-or-treating and who are clearly
they
not...
weren't even in costumes.
And they're not in costumes, he doesn't give them candy.
Oh, okay, that's...
So they TP
that's
They
fair.
TP his house and, like, egg it, and they write bald asshole on his door.
Okay, I'm actually on his side this time.
For once. Like, I think it's the one time where he's, like, justifiable, and people are still like, yeah, but Larry, just give him the candy. Susie, Larry, you stupid fuck, just give him the candy! And it's like, no, this time he's right.
I'm going to bring it back to Star Trek.
No!
Sorry. Because I wanted to ask what you guys think of the one and only time we see B'Elanna's hair like this.
Oh, I hated it.
What was with that braid?
I meant to bring that up. I was going to joke that, the most important part of this episode, of course, B'Elanna's new hairdo.
I bet you she's been... Because, we're in 1997 by now, so clearly she's been watching Clueless.
As if.
This is where I admit I've actually never seen that movie.
I also have not seen it.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
I know, it's probably a little weirder that I haven't.
It's a fun movie.
It's supposed to be
Isn't
good.
it got young, sexy Paul Rudd in it, who basically just looks like old, sexy Paul Rudd?
He looks exactly the same,
I
yep.
think
But yeah,
I
so...
liked the makeup that they did on her ridges, though. That was what I noticed. I actually didn't even look at her hair, even after you said it. But I loved what they were doing with her forehead.
Yeah, the little side braid was weird.
Yeah, I found it a little distracting, especially because I know this is the one time we're going to see it.
I was
It's
wondering.
never going to come back.
Good, it didn't look good.
I mean, so was it supposed to be like a flirting with Tom look?
There was so much flirting with Tom.
I know.
This and next
Both episodes,
episode.
yeah.
Holy shit.
They're definitely going to bang if they haven't already.
Well, and that's also why they needed Tom Paris to go on the little runabout, or whatever the fuck, shuttle, so that we could have B'Elanna clutching her pearls and wondering if he was going to become deadified.
Deadified.
I did like that
Unalive.
B'Elanna referred to the Stepford family as lollipops. I thought that was a great term for that.
Yeah.
It was.
Pause the
Because they
program.
all suck. Yeah.
Pause the program. What did she say? Like, before my blood sugar spikes or
Yes.
something? Yeah, of all people to invite to that. Like, no one was gonna like it, but,
Well, you could see on her face as soon as he just called his wife the little woman.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, I'm going to ruin you and your family. And then she really did. I mean, B'Elanna, I think you went too far. I mean, I understand, but damn.
Fucking
Little
one of them,
Belle, or Bella, whatever.
one of them gets in the pool and the ladders just vanish. He's like, what happened?
In one of the more recent The Sims, they can crawl out, and I'm very pissed.
Son of a bitch.
See, I was about to say, like, I mean, I get that the ladder makes it easier, but
You can get out of the
should
pool
be
without
able
the
to,
ladder.
yeah.
Well, Sims characters in like I think Sims 1 and 2 couldn't.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was a running gag for ages. I'm sure someone has made a mod for the newer one where they forget how to get out of a pool if you remove the ladders. I mean, no.
Yes, I'm still swimming.
Well, you know what you just gotta do now is you have to remove the ladders and then build a wall right up against the edge of the pool.
Yep, that'll do
A
it.
little more effort, but you know.
Yeah, you need to use a certain mod because I don't think they allow walls within.
Oh, good point.
That close of a pool.
Maybe you can put like a bunch of furniture up against it? I don't know.
Don't they know that people only play The Sims so they can kill their Sims?
Actually, I've never intentionally killed a sim in The Sims, I have to admit.
So many.
I didn't even know you'd ever played it.
Oh yeah, I have Sims 4.
It's like anything else like that. I'm not really interested in designing homes, so it has...
that's the best part.
No, see, I hate that shit. I don't like doing it. I have no sense of it. It's really hard for me to do it.
Yeah, to download other people's custom ones. That can be fun.
Well, that's also fine, but I just
like, I like starting off with the little space that you can afford, and then sometimes it's like, all right, let's try to make these extensions logical, and then other times, like, what can I afford? And you just wind up with this fucking Frankenhouse.
Yep.
Frankenhouse.
The last house I made, I haven't played in the ages, the last time turned out really nice, had a nice, like, upper deck area eventually. It was good.
How are your lower decks?
Pretty nice. Pretty nice.
There should be a Sims game that's instead of a house, it's a starship.
Ooh.
That would be a good one. See, I would try that.
You can just kill Alexander.
Yeah.
And you could jettison Finney.
Yeah.
All the time.
Really, all they just need is just get some licensed Trek skins. They've already done some licensed Star Wars tie-in stuff.
Oh,
just
then
costumes,
they never
though.
will then, right? I mean...
Not necessarily. This was years ago.
Can't cross the streams.
I think the last note I have is that I thought it was fucking hilarious that after they survive this space tornado thing, and they're like, well, we should get the fuck out of here then, shouldn't we? And Janeway says, no, wait.
Yeah, that's right.
What if we survived this time, so let's try it again?
I forgot about that.
bitch
Thank
is
you for
crazy.
reminding me. Because, my reaction, she was like, well, wait. And it's like, is anyone going to object? No? Okay.
There's coffee in that nebula.
Yeah.
Because, seriously, like, oh, wow, this almost killed us. For scientific reasons, we should look at it.
How
Everyone
many
just
different
turns around,
ways
like-
can it kill us?
It's like, are you quietly suicidal and we're just not noticing? Like, what's
Let's
going on?
self-destruct the ship.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she does do that a lot.
So much.
Well, then there you go, maybe. On that
Anything
note-
else?
I
Or?
was going to say, on that
No.
horrifying
Speaking
note,
of self-destructing the ship, don't know.
Ramming
how about trying to self-destruct your whole society?
Sure, there we go. That's
That's
sort
always
of
a great idea.
Sounds like our society right now.
Yeah,
I'll laugh to keep from
that's
crying.
the thing about this episode. It was like too
Yup.
fucking real. I was like, ooh.
So,
What was it about, Chris?
in Distant Origin, we start off in a cave where we find what I assume is Hogan's
That's
corpse.
what I was thinking.
And we meet the Voth.
Who's Hogan again?
He's the one that got eaten by that snake, that giant snake.
Yeah, they
There was
said
a giant snake in this show?
In basics.
Yeah, he was the one that, like,
stranded by the Kazons.
he was kind of buddies with the guy who was the Kazon turncoat, but he wasn't the turn. Like, I think they maybe tried to imply he was for 2 minutes before they revealed it was the toothy guy.
Yeah, not Jonas, but Hogan.
Yeah.
The two of them were interchangeable until they turned out Jonas was a bad
Hogan.
guy.
Yeah, and
Love hoagies.
he kept popping up for a while, then they killed him. So anywho, they found Hogan's uniform and a skull, and this one lizard dude is like, holy shit, they share a bunch of genetic markers with us. I think I might be right. And they eventually, they start talking to other people. They find some artifacts from Voyager. They eventually find the ship and beam on board with their special cloaking technology. So at first no one can see them, to study them and things like that.
They don't have Prime Directive at fucking all.
Well, I mean, at first, they're not trying to interfere. Oh, I skipped a bit. They do go to their, like, city ship first to be like, we want resources to keep doing this study. And Odala, their chief old person, is like, yeah, I'll think about it. And she clearly is not happy. And his daughter is all like, the main scientist daughter is like...
I want to fuck Veer hard.
And Vera's like, I want to
Daughter,
fuck
stop
your
it.
daughter hard. And the Fora Gagan, the main guy, is at first like, our family traditionally marries this other one. But traditions are made to be broken. So he's totally
Aw,
down
he
with
was
it.
so cute.
It was. But we'll get to that bastard Veer later.
That fucking rat fuck.
So yeah, they kind of go looking kind of on their own. They don't technically have permission when they get to Voyager. And they're all like, don't worry, they're not that advanced. They won't detect us. Harry detects them.
Go Harry.
And then their force fields keep their, not transporter, but their equivalent of transporter from working right. They eventually chase them down, manage to deactivate their cloaks with a special phaser beam. The younger scientist freaks out and knocks out Chakotay with a little bony thing.
Hot.
The older scientist grabs Chakotay and beams away. The younger scientist is captured and...
Goes into hibernation, which
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah, which is a good way to avoid having to answer questions.
Bad for a prey species, but good for this guy.
Yeah. So meanwhile... Chakotay wakes up, and again, in what has really turned out to be a hallmark of the character, is just like, look, dude, let's just talk, huh? He also, this episode breaks one of the main rules of Star Trek. He's told he's being held in by an energy field and doesn't immediately reach up to touch it so we see it flash. Red letter fucking day. So yeah.
Because that shit probably hurts.
Usually
I'd be willing to take their fucking word for it.
Yeah. But yeah, so Chakotay ends up getting Gagan to talk to him, and they sit and they shoot the breeze, and, Chakotay's like, oh shit, we might be related. Meanwhile, back on the ship, they discover the same thing via scanning and such, and they go into the holodeck and perfectly extrapolate the species.
Thanks, holodeck.
So they're like, well, and Chakotay's like, all right, bring me back to my ship, we'll get your guy, we'll smooth this all over. And Gagan's like, no, we gotta go back to my ship because I'm in so much trouble, but if you're there with me, everything will be fine. And Chakotay's like, yeah, fine, because he's the right guy. But then before they can do any of that, the city ship that is there, as far as I can tell, where they all live, maybe? It's a little vague.
Huge.
It's fucking enormous.
Huge.
They literally beam the whole of Voyager into its guts. Everyone's arrested. There's a trial. And she's like, despite...
It's a Cardassian trial.
Oh, yeah.
The
They've already made their
decisions have
decision.
already been made. Yeah.
Veer has been threatened in some capacity, and Chicken's out. It's like, we were wrong.
Typical Veer.
Yeah, loser. And then, she's like, well, you're all going to prison, including the Voyager people, and that makes Gagan go, fine, I'll recant. They reassign him to metallurgy, which he's bad at, so he'll just kind of be forgotten. Voyager's allowed to go on its merry way. And in what, to me, was actually a really sweet, touching moment, Chakotay gives Gagan a model of the Earth, a little globe.
He says, one day your people will see this again.
And that was really sweet.
But for now, keep the fuck away.
Okay, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do not tell the fucking technologically superior race of sentient dinosaurs where Earth is. Do not tell them!
But, well, see, they don't seem to have any interest in...
They don't now, but if Gagan had won, if they were like, oh yeah, you know what? Earth is our homeland.
Let's have a family reunion.
Look, at the end of the day...
These fucking monkeys have taken over our house? Fuck that shit!
At the end of the day, they've dealt with the Borg. They'll figure out how to deal with these dinosaurs.
You see how big that ship is?
Yeah, these guys might be more advanced than the Borg.
Here's the thing. We're doing a pretty shitty job, so maybe it's time for our dinosaur overlords to return.
No,
Okay
we're
with
doing a
this.
shitty job right now. The Federation's imperfect, but doing all right. They're getting better.
I, for one, bow to our dinosaur overlords.
Well, like, here's the thing, right?
I definitely do.
So,
I'm in.
these people, the Voth, have been spacefaring for 65 million years.
Yeah.
Right? So this isn't like every other species that we see in space, except for maybe the Q, are fucking babies.
Yeah,
compared
even
to
the
these.
Vulcans.
Even the
Yeah.
Vulcans. The Vulcans aren't, like, compared to, like, we're as advanced as the Vulcans are according to the Voths, because, like, literally, they've been tooling around the galaxy for millions of years.
They made it to the Delta Quadrant.
And the fact that they've been doing this for millions of years and still have this weird religious belief about
Very Earth.
very
Here's the
Earth.
thing. I can see our society in millions of years having advanced far enough to do whatever the fuck, and still having that contingent, that very loud contingent, fuck it up for everyone else.
You still see our society existing in millions.
That's
We'll
actually
be
what I
lucky
was
if we
just
make it to
thinking.
the end of this century.
Oh, wow. Too true.
It's alright. I won't make it to the end of the century, so I don't
Me
care.
either. Who cares?
Wow, way to sound like Republicans.
Okay.
Yeah, but the difference
Boomer.
is like, I'm not gonna have children and, like, be a hypocrite. If I had children, I would care about the future.
Care about the future and I'm not having kids.
I mean...
I want the space dinosaurs to come back and solve everything.
You know whose future? I care more about the future of the planet, and it will be much better off once we're gone.
I think the lizards had their chance, the monkeys had their chance, birds next.
Yay.
But the birds are dinosaurs.
That's true. That's just the dinosaur rebound.
All right, then the quokka.
Birds are on the decline right now, if you've heard.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm waiting.
Fuck.
What are the giant sentient cat people?
I would be on board for that.
According to Futurama, there's a period where giant sentient carrots take over.
There you go.
Sounds delicious.
Nah. So here's the thing.
Tell us the thing.
What's the thing?
So the Voth, right?
Yeah.
They've been around for millions of years. So they've literally seen potentially thousands, and they have technology to, like, do duck blinds, obviously, right?
Yep.
So they've probably and they're interested in research, right? They have like all these these archaeological and
research as long as it proves what we already believe.
Well, apparently it's researching. I'm guessing mostly what they do is research other cultures.
Yeah.
So they've probably seen thousands of species evolve and go into decline. So they know that evolution is a thing.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The Voth, being from the other part of the galaxy, there's no fossil record. Like, they have no evidence that they themselves evolved. Right?
True.
So
the human parallels are just insurmountable.
So the conclusion then would be, we must be the first species. I mean, it seems really ignorant to say that, but it also is somewhat understandable that they would have that belief, because there's nothing.
Yeah, they're the oldest ones, and they can't have anything older.
Yeah.
It does sort of address something that's always kind of, I found interesting with not just Star Trek, but science fiction in general, that has like humans in a diverse alien-filled universe, is like, how many species went through a mass extinction event start over like Earth did? Like, it feels like humans should be super late to the party, and we almost never are. You know, like, yeah, we're later to the party than, say, the Vulcans, but not by a huge amount, you know?
Well, but that's the thing. There's so many older species, older races in the galaxy that have just died out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But it does seem funny that, like, conveniently, like, there's all these ones that are established to be super old, but somehow are still, like, not too far ahead of humanity, who then catch up very quickly.
Here's the tangential question that goes with that question. Do the Voth have that same DNA marker that we found in the Chase?
I thought about that and was like, should I even bother bringing that
I'm going to bring it up. God damn it.
I'm glad someone did.
Yeah.
I mean, this episode definitely doesn't jive with the Chase, unless
one of those 47 or 40 whatever markers that were similar between the Voth and the humans is that decoded, like, using the special, like, colored ring over a piece of red paper kind of thing. That's the one. Hook that up with the same ones from the Romulans and the Klingons, then they go to the Chase planet. And Salome Jens talks to you.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
Man, they should have had Herb, the chief lizard person, just to really fuck with everyone.
I don't think they really established in the Chase how old that had all been. Because if it was pre-dinosaur or post-dinosaur, like, we don't know. Because here's the thing. The millions of years since dinosaur times, that's not insignificant.
That's a lot of years.
That's a lot of years.
I mean, precursors to humans were still around during dinosaur times. They were like little rat things.
Well, yeah, they were mammals, but they weren't humanoid.
Fun fact, the precursors way back that eventually would become humans almost wiped out by the precursors to squirrels.
Stupid squirrels.
And we got our comeuppance by running them down with cars.
Oh, poor squirrels.
But they're stealing our bird seed.
This could have been a squirrel planet. That's so much better.
Just like Albany. That's what the whole world would look like.
Oh my god. It would have been, I'd like to think it'd be such a better world if intelligent squirrels ruled the planet. Oh, it's like a whimsical children's novel.
Yeah,
but like
it's
humans,
like the Brian Jacques Redwall series. The squirrels are great in those books.
The first humans are what, like 1 million years ago, if that.
Fuck if I know.
I've forgotten how time
I don't think
works
it's that
in these
far.
things.
I don't think it's that far back.
Yeah, I mean, like Homo sapiens are like within the
but
last
if you're talking
50,000 years.
But if you're talking about like Cro-Magnon,
like any
and
humans, like it's not that long ago. So there's plenty of time in between for Salome Jens to come by and come on our planet.
I know. I did look up that weird little lizard they talk about was real, but I couldn't find out if it was actually the last known sort of before this split between warm and cold.
Yeah. I loved the little image we get on the holodeck of, I forget what it's called. It's like Itrops or something like that.
Yeah, and it's not at all spelled like you'd think.
Oh, good. But it just looked like the happiest little lizard. I wanted to play with him.
Yeah. I did love, again, in a sort of a... God, what's that stupid abduction episode of TNG?
I was thinking of that one, too. I don't remember the name of it.
But where they're just like... They give it a...
Give us a table!
Yeah, table.
And they give it, like, a very minor request for change. And it gets the exact...
No, it wasn't Night Terrors.
But it gives you the exact fucking thing. It's like they did not... And it's like, extrapolate what it might look like. Oh, it's exactly right.
Was it schisms?
No idea.
Might have been schisms.
Yeah. Either way, that one. I thought of that right away. Where it was just like, okay, so here's a table. Do this. Do that. Exact table.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, come on.
Nothing like the previous tables we've seen.
Yeah, well, that definitely... I wish they had made the makeup on the holodeck generated one look a little different at least.
Yeah.
Or at least left their feathers on. But we didn't know about dinosaurs having feathers yet, though.
Well, I think we knew by then, but it hadn't really leaked into popular culture.
I mean, this is also definitely the Genesis school of evolutionary biology.
Yeah.
The episode, or...
The episode Genesis.
Okay. I can't tell if you're joking.
No, I mean,
Okay.
it is, because it's ridiculous.
Not the book of the Bible, which is also ridiculous.
Yeah, the premise, I will say, is a little, like, bonkers, but overall I enjoyed the execution.
Yeah, I think the premise being bonkers, like, you can't think about it too hard.
No, God don't.
But they went full Galileo with this thing, and I respect that hard.
Was it Galileo? I couldn't remember. I was saying I thought it was Copernicus.
Yeah,
and
Galileo,
just the acting of
heliocentrism.
Henry Warrenitz, who played Gagan, who we've seen before, and we'll see some more. He was Jadan in the Drumhead, that Klingon who was smuggling information.
Oh, okay.
We've seen him before, and we'll see him some more.
We will, and he was really good in this.
He was
good.
He was
Like,
great.
his character had all this nuance, and he discovered all this stuff, and it was really good.
Yeah, like, at first I was like, wait, what are we doing? But then, like, once... So at first, this is gonna be dumb. But then it was like, oh no, it's actually... Because again, like you said, he was really well done. They did good work with Chakotay, which...
Oh, yeah.
Like we've been saying, like, when he's not being used to just sell stereotypes, when they just let him... Like, again, he's immediately like, oh, okay, well, look, you know, so other people, you know, wake up, you've been captured, all this shit, might immediately be, like, angry and, like, combative.
Yeah,
he's just
he's
like,
sympathetic.
dude,
and
let's talk. What's going on?
he always tries to find common ground.
Talk to
which I appreciate.
Chakotay.
Yeah.
Tell Chakotay all your problems.
Chakotay, like, had to lie to him and say, yeah, I'm a scientist.
Yeah, I
That
know
was,
that.
it was like, wait, what? You were? Because I feel like you're talking about doing pilot training in his academy days. I felt like he was definitely always
I
more...
feel like everybody that's in Starfleet thinks they're a fucking scientist.
I mean, here's the thing. Compared to us, they probably fucking
sure.
are.
They had to study in Starfleet.
But I do
the
feel
academy,
like
so.
he was probably always command track,
it's like,
Janeway, who was science that fell into command later.
Here's what should have happened, right? When Chakotay's like, why don't you take down this force field so we can do first contact the right way? And then he's like, all right, I'll take down the force field. And then Chakotay immediately strips.
Damn it, Chakotay.
This is how we do first contact where I'm from.
Yeah, but what I really
What
like...
is that? What's that weird dangly bit?
Oh, that's your head fin. That's where it went. But no, what I
Do the
really
eggs come out of that?
liked about Chakotay this episode was his talk about, you know, to the fucking Odala, the Voth minister,
her.
about ancestry and heritage, which is especially poignant coming from Chakotay.
Yeah.
And really good use because it never hit you over the head.
Nope.
He didn't have to go into a my people this and that,
Yep.
or my people have a saying this and this.
Thank
He
God.
would just let it be his presence.
Yeah.
Great work.
Yeah, Chakotay. As someone who recently learned that my ancestors were aliens.
Ugh. I also appreciate, like, look, you guys, I'm a quick read. I read a lot of your history in like 2 days, and you were afraid of advancement before and almost didn't fucking use transwarp, you dumb idiots. Like, come on.
The queen priestess lady there had a speaking of the drum hat, had almost a
Sati vibes.
well, she almost had a Sati moment when she's like, "We are not immigrants."
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like,
I was getting a lot of Kai Wynn off of her.
yeah. Well, there's like the religious angle, which is very Kai Wynn, and then there's the Admiral Sati, which is like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like calculating and oh, but you made me angry, so now I'm gonna yell at you for a bit.
Yeah.
I was getting a lot of the Doctor don't hang out with Klingons vibes. Fucking racist ass bitch.
Oh yeah.
What is that doing here?
She was excellent too. I thought I recognized her voice, but I looked her up, and while she has been in so much and done a lot of stage work, I personally have never seen any of her other work, so.
Yeah, well, they were, I mean, the fact that they were just so disgusted that we're not related to these fucking
monkeys.
They
They stink.
These mammals. Jesus.
Yeah, of course it smells. They are mammalian.
Yeah, they don't have the
Smelly
smell
bastards.
glands we do. They can't smell their own filth.
But yeah, I mean, for an episode...
Thank God, frankly.
For an episode that the premise of which is...
Stupid?
Is,
Kinda.
what if dinosaurs, but in space? Like, it actually turned out pretty well.
Yeah, no, it's like, I was getting ready to just kind of half-ass paying attention because it was going to be terrible, but it really grabbed me once.
Yeah. It's one of very few things I can credit Rick Berman and say good job, because Jesus Christ, Rick Berman.
Wow, broken clock.
Because I guess, like, the premise was, what if dinosaurs but with automatic weapons? Which I would still watch, but doesn't have this impact.
Ooh.
And then Berman happened along, and I don't know how it came to this, but he suggested, why don't you do a Galileo and add some humanity to these characters and to the story?
Wow.
And they did it very well, I thought.
Jesus, so really double red letter day. No touching the force field, and Rick Berman had a good idea. Jiminy Cricket.
And that's literally his 2 times a day.
Yeah, that's much better, because what if dinosaurs but automatic weapons is just Planet of the Apes but lizards instead of apes?
Or like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Well, they didn't have automatic weapons.
No, but
That-
Bebop and Rocksteady did.
But you'll
True.
recall that in Planet of the Apes, he was wrong. It was Earth all along.
That's true.
Do you know I've never actually seen the Planet of the Apes?
You know, I'm not sure if I saw the terrible Tim Burton remake.
Yeah,
I
I saw
haven't
the
seen
remake.
any
There's
of
so
them.
here's you
You
really,
only have to see the musical from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
really that's pretty much it.
I have
It's-
seen that.
There's a planet, there's sentient apes, they take a human astronaut prisoner for a while, he escapes and discovers that it was actually Earth.
Yeah.
That's the
Don't say
movie.
it's
And then there were a
Sequels.
lot of
Oh, and
sequels.
there's a sexy lady ape that he's into.
Nope, don't want that. Don't want that. Mm-mm.
Although, I mean, I will say, the movie was fucking terrible, but the makeup in the Tim Burton one is really good.
Isn't Gary
Speaking-
Oldman in that?
No idea. I don't think so.
Of the makeup, there was also a really nice little detail that I liked, and that was when the Voth, they find Hogan. Thanks, Hogan. You helped after all. And they come up with a mapping of what we think these guys might look like.
Yeah.
And they're like, they're just basically Voth, but with human body parts.
Yeah.
And green skin and scales and stuff. And then, as they've been talking with people whom we met before, they tell them, by the way, the humans, they look more like this. And they update their little file, and
Yeah.
it's so cute. And they learned something that day.
Yeah, they
Though-
have hair and skin, but they still have like body fitting.
Oh, they have like 9 packs.
yes.
That was one thing. Like, in reality, like, these two are scientists. They know what mammals are. Probably would have made... Their first guess probably should have been, like, just covered in hair, not green.
Like a Yeti.
Yeah.
Well,
But-
they knew that they had common ancestry with them. So maybe they were thinking, maybe a little more of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cute. I got
But
it.
there's a great. I think there's a book. It's like a picture book that somebody did, and I know I've seen them online, but they're illustrations of modern day animals.
I've seen these.
Done in the style that paleontologists draw dinosaurs.
That sounds
So
amazing.
it's basically they looked at, okay, this is the skeleton of a goose.
Yeah,
Mm.
stretch skin over it.
Yeah,
and
because
act like it doesn't have any
and like
other
the
appendages.
artist that created it was like, yeah, I was noticing how every time people draw dinosaurs, they're basically just stretching skin over a skeleton.
Yeah.
But that's not what animals look like. There's soft tissue.
Yeah. I saw something vaguely similar. It wasn't that, but it was like...
You'd have no idea we have noses.
Yeah, which actually even comes up in this, where they're like, they don't have some kind of bone or something. So what? They don't have a sense of smell. So what they do is very rudimentary.
I think the elephant one was really creepy because it wouldn't have a trunk
Right, yeah, because what would an elephant look
and
Well,
like
that's-
no ears.
you
And
just
just
have
like, oh,
Well,
what
I
is
think-
this?
Elephant skulls, they think, might be the origin of the Cyclops myth.
Yeah, because then where the nose would be would just be a giant hole.
Eye socket.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. They don't know for certain, but they think that's what it was.
No, but imagine like you're a prehistoric person and you come across a fucking skull of an elephant.
Yeah, because it looks nothing like an elephant.
But at the same time, see, that's an interesting theory, except humans have been hunting elephants for as long as there's been
Well,
humans.
presumably, probably it would have to have been a skull seen somehow by someone
Who hadn't seen an elephant.
yeah, like a skull made its way to Greece, and they was like, Jesus Christ!
I can
except he wasn't a thing
imagine
yet.
like some kind of charlatan.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
roving around. They come see the amazing Cyclops skeleton.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I love how in Greek art they don't know what lions look like. So when you tell one of them, draw me a lion, they're like, to my best guess, this is what a lion looks
It's
like.
like
And
a
it's
big
the weirdest
cat.
thing.
It's like a big cat with hairy head.
It's actually vaguely... I will attempt to find it and share it, but the first, for lack of a better, the first space travel science fiction story actually dates to ancient Greece.
Ooh.
Because it was a guy mocking the travelogue writers of the time, because so many of them were clearly just making up bullshit. So
like Herodotus and his fucking
giant ants and stuff.
Bullshit.
So yeah, this guy wrote a story where like his ship gets thrown into the sky and he goes to the moon and like gets caught up in like I think it's a war between the moon and the sun and all this other crazy stuff.
Oh wow!
From the video I watched, it's kind of like the highlights make it sound amazing, but actually reading it is kind of tedious and painful. But it sounds pretty interesting.
Basically, like anything else from that time period.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I think even up until fairly modern times, like
A lot of writing was tedious and painful.
Well, yes, but like descriptions of creatures.
Yeah.
Like even like I feel like like Kipling, like even in like Victorian times, most photography wasn't prevalent. Most people probably hadn't seen a photograph of a lion.
Yeah, it was so easy to lie. But yeah, along the lines of what you were saying with the artist doing stuff, I remember there was that one of like, someone took like the skeleton of a penguin and the skeleton of a brontosaurus, so like pictures. Mm-hmm. It's like, just saying. And so you could basically draw a brontosaurus as looking like an enormous penguin. Like it could have, for all we know, it's just got a big fucking belly and it waddles along and it was very cute.
I hope that's the case.
This, of course, we would be remiss to the nerds out there if we did not mention vague similarities to the Silurians of Doctor Who were also a species that evolved from dinosaurs and became semi-humanoid. But with them, they thought basically a cataclysm was coming. Well, they were right. And rather than go to space, they went into stasis underground.
Oh, so they stayed on Earth.
They stayed on Earth underground, but then the issue was like they overestimated how long it would take the planet to recover or something. So they come out of stasis and humanity has evolved and taken over the planet. So they try to reconquer it from within.
Ooh, that's kind of interesting.
But yes, the episode itself.
Yeah, one other thing that I saw was, so the Voth city ship. Fucking huge. There's a cool article that will also share on the Facebook, talking about the largest spacecraft in science fiction that they can have definite proof of a thing. So basically, like mostly movies and television where you can see how big the thing is.
Yeah,
and this is one of the biggest in that list. Because it would be about 6 miles long.
Holy fuck.
The biggest Star Trek vessel,
Voyager.
Which will be on the list. I forget how big it is, but it's fucking huge.
Yeah, it's gargantuan.
And the largest spacecraft in all of science fiction, at least at the time this article was written, so I don't know if it's changed since then, the mothership in Independence Day.
Oh.
Is like 400 miles or something like that long.
The first one?
The first Independence Day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think, my understanding, I didn't see it, but I think the shitty, awful sequel had an even bigger mothership.
Oh, no!
So that's probably now the biggest one.
Dang it.
I heard someone just...
Why do you need a bigger ship?
Based on what I heard, I won't spoil it. It's the
Spoil it now and cut it.
Stupidest movie ever.
So, yeah, it's a shame that First Contact with the Voth didn't go so well because...
It never would have.
Yeah, but getting some of that sweet
Transwarp
tech would have been cool.
And the little cloaks. I will say, actually, to your point earlier, they don't, for all their technology, they apparently don't have interest in conquering anyone. Because they seem to just want to live on their big-ass ship.
If you got a giant ship, why need anything else?
Yeah, they don't seem to want to conquer anybody, so I guess the Earth is fine. Because there's no sign they have.
I have a feeling that somewhere in their archives, they know where they're actually from.
Yeah.
And they're just, it's a threat to the status quo.
Yeah. That's like the first thing you learn when you become the Elder is like, so here's the truth, now cover it up.
Like how more Trill can be...
Yeah,
seriously.
Yeah, God, the Trill.
What's it?
Fucking
Posts?
Trill.
Oh, they are like the second worst after Vulcans.
I was gonna say, where do they rank next to Vulcans?
From everything we've seen, second. Who knows, maybe we'll find out more about the Tellarites in Strange New Worlds and they'll become the worst, but I doubt it.
Did we keep Veer's little cloaking device? Because I know Tom used it at some point.
I'm sure they got confiscated.
Dang
when
it.
the other Bojos came.
I thought it was
that was cool though.
A good joke when they made the apple disappear, and I wrote, "How about them apples?" Because I'm funny.
I did like that Tom used it though. That's pretty clever of him.
Man, so now the Voth have downloaded the entire database of the Voyager, so they must have like a VOD copy of Jurassic Park. They're gonna watch that and they're gonna be like, these motherfuckers put us in a fucking zoo.
Oh no, that's presuming they're like the
Thermians.
Thank you, and don't know what
Yeah.
fiction is.
These historical documents have shown us in a fucking zoo.
Then they go to Earth to fuck
Yeah.
it up, not to conquer. Just to
poor people.
God, I could buy that too. They seem like they wouldn't know what fiction is. The bastards.
Yeah.
One thing I liked was I was there's the scene with the lamp,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, is that like designed to attract bugs so they can snack casually
That's
on
what
them?
I was
2
thinking.
seconds
Yeah.
later, they're like, oh shit, I was right.
Yeah, you
A
gotta have your
stupid
bugs.
thing I said was right.
Gonna have a snack lamp.
Yeah, no, as soon as I saw that lamp, I'm like, oh, they're gonna eat those bugs.
So when I first see the lamp, because it's not very high def, it just looked like it was fuzzy from when you were a little bit more afar than looking at the bug up close.
Yeah, at
I'm
first.
like, what is wrong with this rendering?
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know if it's actually good, but I liked it because I was right.
I mean, I thought it was a nice touch.
It
Like
was.
some of the dinosaur stuff that they did.
Oh, like the line, "Your true scales are finally
Yeah,
showing."
like that expression.
Didn't like that.
Nah, I thought it was cute.
Oh, I thought it was too sad.
Jury's still out for me, but I could see both arguments.
I mean, it was corny, but I think it was appropriate.
There was one moment where you can tell the makeup must have screwed up the actor's peripheral vision, no surprise. Because there was a moment where, like, the two of them, when they were kind of close to each other in engineering, like, one was basically poking the other in the side of the head with his little back fin. And it's like, oh, of course, the one can't see it, the other can't feel it. So they're just like, meh.
Okay, am I the only one who noticed? Because of course I would notice this.
Possibly.
How excellent Odala's chair was.
Oh, actually, no, I did. At the very last scene,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did
yeah.
see it was all, like, spindly.
I
And,
liked it.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
I want to next chair installment we do. Expect to see that chair.
But it's going to be hard to get a good picture, though, because it's...
Yeah.
brief
She's
and
always
it's-
got her fat ass sitting on
Well,
it.
no, she before the trial she comes in, so there is a minute where you can see it, but it's not super well lit, and it's SD and
Well, I have a filter button on my photo
perfect.
thing, so
perfect.
we'll see.
But yeah, it's very nice. Had a very like swampy feel, like they grew it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think the one last thing I wanted to bring up from my notes is I was getting a lot of also like Darmok vibes because both sides of people came to the same conclusion entirely independently of each other. Like they get the DNA from Veer and they're like, these guys were fucking dinosaurs. And then Chakotay and Gagan are talking and Gagan says, I'm a fucking dinosaur. And they tell them like everybody gets to know.
Roar.
I will call it this land.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would be great if the toy that Chakotay had given him at the end was like a little T-Rex stall.
No.
one of the little fucking shitty Jurassic Park ones.
Yeah.
It's that, specifically that raptor that you pull back on its legs and it goes, ah! I had that toy.
I don't think I had any of them. I just remember the ads with like super buff Alan Grant with our net launcher. It's like, what? Did you see the same movie as me?
Doesn't matter. It's kids' toys.
No, I know, but even at the time, I was just like, no, that wasn't the movie in the least.
Yeah, it was. Remember that scene where Alan Grant takes down that big dinosaur?
And was built
Was it like,
like
it was like a
Schwarzenegger?
pterodactyl or something.
I don't remember.
I feel like they sold pterodactyl toys in spite of the fact that I don't think you ever see a pterodactyl in that fucking movie.
Not in the first one, at least.
Listen, it's not in the movie, but it's in the games that the kids are going to play with the action figures.
Mm.
Man. I'm going to segue us out of here. You remember how I was saying that Odala was giving me big Kai Wynn vibes? Let's talk about Bajorans this week.
Let's.
We're coming to the end of our alien race discussions for our Blogtivity Corner. So this week is Bajoran week. Boy, we see a bunch of them in Deep Space Nine, don't we?
We sure do.
Yeah. And there's that one in the cartoon that I think a lot of people like.
The cartoon,
Oh, yeah.
you say.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name.
I might bring him up later.
Yeah.
Oh.
But does someone want to bring up anything now?
Yeah. I'll bring up some things.
Do it.
Get it, Caitlin.
Okay, obviously my favorite is Kira.
Yeah.
Lada. She's awesome. She's hot. She's formidable. She's got a mirror universe person that's also really cool.
Okay, are both Kira and Mirror Kira on your list?
No.
What?
I'm encapsulating that as both.
Oh.
I like all sides
Totally
of Kira.
different.
Mixed opportunity.
Totally different people, though.
I know, but I only have to think of them as two different people in the first episode where they meet and they almost bang. Or Kira wants to bang. Or rather, intended Kira wants to bang Kira.
Super Nintendo Kira.
Exactly. So yeah, Kira. I also would say Kai Wynn. Because I fucking love to hate that bitch so
That bitch is so good.
much. And
So well written and acted.
Yeah,
And
Louise
she's
Fletcher,
so
excellent.
She's so fucking tragic because even at the end, the prophets are like, "Fuck you, bitch."
Well, and there's several times where she like comes so close to getting it and just won't let herself get it.
Which is really reminiscent of like current politics, where Republicans are like, "What do liberals want us to just hand over our guns?" And we're like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I mean, like, whatever. I mean, I want that, but whatever.
Give me your guns.
And I feel like this is a cop-out, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm going to say Zial.
Okay, that's not a cop-out.
Because if Spock
Okay,
is a Vulcan, goddammit, she's a Bajoran.
She is, she absolutely is. She can be on your Cardassian list, too, when we do Cardassians.
She won't be.
Rats.
Because there are way more interesting Cardassians than there are Bajorans.
Yeah, but
because,
for Bajoran, I think
consider-
she's very interesting.
I was going to say, because consider that our other Bajorans are like Vedic Burial and Shaka Khan, who
All right, well,
wants to
stop
send
listing additional
people
Bajorans,
notes.
because some of us might have those on our list.
If any of you have Vedic Burial on your list, I'm going to vomit in anger.
What about
I
Mirror
need to make a
Burial?
quick edit.
Mirror Burial.
Mirror Burial was also boring and sounded like
Yeah.
Adam West.
I
He's
like-
more fuckable, though.
I will say, he's not on my list, but Mirror Burial I liked.
Mm.
Actually, I didn't hate original, but there's no way he's making top
I
three.
didn't hate him. He's just the most boring motherfucker on the planet. And again, sounds like exactly like whose name I can't now think of.
Adam
West. Sounds just like Adam West.
Anyway, Jake, you wanted to go, it sounds like.
Sure, yeah, I can go. I will say, in compiling this list, it occurred to me that there are very few Bajoran men who are remotely interesting.
True.
Yeah.
I could think of maybe two that I was like, okay, I could consider these for my list, and then they didn't even make my list. So, yeah, but Bajoran seem to be... The Bajoran women are definitely way more interesting than the men.
Sounds like when I was talking about Klingons the other week.
Yeah.
And I liked all the Klingon ladies.
And I guess it doesn't hurt that most of the Bajoran characters that are featured are women, I guess, you know.
Sure.
The men
Or
kind
the
of-
most development, I think, we get
Yeah.
out of Klingon. Nope. Bajoran. Damn it. Bajoran women. And Klingon.
So my list, I'm going to start with one of the same ones that Caitlin mentioned and say Kira Nerys. Because she is awesome for all the reasons that Caitlin already said.
Yep.
I'm going to move on to, I guess you could say, Kira's spiritual predecessor, Ro Laren.
Sweet.
Again, you know, she's a badass in many of the same ways that Kira is, but the fact that she's Starfleet and has a chip on her shoulder and challenges...
And yet, has to put up with all the bullshit, especially from Riker.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
God
put up
damn
with
it,
a
Riker.
lot of bullshit, but I feel like she also challenges Picard on occasions,
Yep.
which is something that not many people do.
Who would?
I know. Who
Q.
would.
Only Q.
And I really like Ro. I really, I wished I wouldn't trade Kira for anything, but I also wish that we had more opportunities to learn more about Ro. I wish
She
they
should
brought
have been in Voyager.
she should have been on. I would.
That
I
would
don't
have
know.
been good.
Poor Kano
Again, I don't want
Rostos.
to. I don't want to trade B'Elanna Torres for anyone either, because I also like B'Elanna.
You can have
but
both. Why not?
She could have been Chakotay.
There have been too many women for a Star Trek show.
Damn it.
Way too many.
Oh, too woke. God damn it.
Which is honestly unfortunate because, as you sort of just alluded to, I feel like all the female characters are the most interesting ones.
Yeah. No. I would have loved it if Ro was a member of the Maquis crew. And then my third, another female Bajoran lady, Sito Jaxa.
Oh, good. Who?
Sito
That's a
Jaxa.
good one.
She was Wesley's
Squad mate.
squad mate in the first duty, and then returned for lower decks and was the Bajoran who was killed
Yeah.
in the line of duty.
Yeah. Got guilted into going on that mission by
Yeah.
Picard, the asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, was she blonde?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's blonde.
Blonde girl, yeah.
She did some Klingon Gital with Worf.
Yep.
To the death.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know, because I really liked, she fucked up. She was part of Tom Paris's band of dickheads.
Yep.
And, it's talked about in the episode that, her career could have been over before it started, but Picard wanted to make sure that she got a chance, so specifically requested her for the Enterprise.
Yeah.
And she proved herself.
And she proved herself. She did, a real good job at getting killed.
Aw.
Sad face.
But she earned the respect of not just Picard, but of Worf, and really the entire crew. I think.
And that's a character that I'm glad they didn't bring back, because I know they were thinking
Yeah,
real
we
hard
talked about it
it.
ages ago.
They're like, what if Ceto's alive? And like, that would lessen Lower Decks as an episode.
So
Fuck you
much.
guys.
But yeah.
Nice. See, I actually did think of a couple of good Bajoran fellas for my list.
No, you didn't. Non-existent.
Nope, I did it.
All right, I'll believe it when I hear it.
Let's not start with that one, though, and let's start with fucking Ensign Rowe, because goddammit, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I like Ensign Rowe, and I think the reason I'm putting her so high on my list is because she is exactly what TNG needed. Out of a character. They killed off Yar, and they're like, well, fuck women characters now.
Yeah.
They're all gonna suck now.
No, but Troy was there.
Thanks, Caitlin.
Hey, she had that one episode where she was
there
good.
and Crusher, and if you recall, they did do yoga together in front of a mirror.
And talked about boys.
Again, the Romulan episode with Troy.
Oh, it was fucking epic.
It's great, but it also just makes you think, wow, you have been wasting her.
Big time.
Yeah, but I also think introducing the Bajorans to TNG with Ensign Rowe, also really good idea, because then we're able to build on them more, both in TNG and then in Deep Space Nine. So good on Ensign Rowe for for starting everything off so well. My two Bajoran fellas that I'm going to shout out for my list, Chris alluded to already, because Chris doesn't know, is Shax from Lower Decks.
Ah, there we go. That's his name.
One of few things I like about that show. But I do like Shax a whole lot. I remember when we were doing our Ideal Bridge cruise for our 200th anniversary, Liz put him on her ideal crew list.
Forgot about that.
And that was a great idea, because Shax is a great character. He is the giant, burly Bajoran security security chief. But he's also, got such a warm heart. I'll not spoil the really great thing they do with his character that's both, heart-wrenching and hilarious and perfect, and perfectly Star Trek that they do with this character. So one day when we cover Lower Decks, you guys will see it and you'll understand why Shax is on my list. Good for him. Like him on a whole lot. And I wanted to, find another kind of more unsung Bajoran to round out the list. So I'm going with Mullibok from the episode Progress. He was the guy who was building that oven and wouldn't leave the Bajoran
Oh,
moon.
yeah, he's great.
I forgot his name.
Yep. I like him an awful lot. He's just such a stubborn bitch.
Stubborn old goat.
He makes friends with Kira, and the two of them come to understand each other, and it's just so sweet.
And then she
Destroys
destroys
his
his fucking
fucking
kiln.
oven.
What a dick.
Really good, because that was relatively early on,
That
too,
was
wasn't
season
it?
1, yeah.
And that was
gonna
already-
be super early.
Already dealing with, just, complicated questions and uncomfortable realities and stuff.
Dude, that show, it's still my fave. I know we haven't gotten that far away from it yet, but I can't imagine anything unseating Deep Space Nine in my heart.
She is so dedicated to her rewatch, she's not even skipping the bad episodes.
I rewatched
Are you going to
old Ba-
rewatch Prophet and Lace, though?
Yeah, probably. I just rewatched the Bashir episode where he's old, Distant Voices. That's what it's called.
Well, at this point, you can laugh at that one. There's no laughing at
Can
Prophet and
I,
Lace.
though?
Did you?
No.
Dang it. You can at least laugh at Julian's stupid little accent he's pulling.
So,
I'm very old.
Fucking 30, am I right?
Fucking aged, bro. Decrepit.
So, I literally have no one on my list that hasn't already been said.
Nice. Good job.
So, I would
We know what we like.
I would like to say, I did consider Ceto Jackson. Feel like she kind of got screwed. I mean, the character story is amazing, but she got guilted into that mission. That was some bullshit. She got hosed. I know he's a little stiff and milquetoast, but there's something really interesting about the idea of Lee Nallis to me.
Oh, yeah, Lee
Of,
Nallis.
a guy who's thought of to be this huge legend, and he's like,
Yeah.
I am so not.
And that episode fucking pushes him to the background
So
the whole
quickly,
time.
it's a
and you're
bummer.
like, where's
It's
Lee?
It's like the opposite of when Quark, what the fuck is it
Oh,
called?
when he
When he,
kills-
accidentally kills that Klingon.
Yeah.
He
starts bigging
sells
himself,
it.
yeah.
He sells it. This guy's like, no, my god, it was a total fucking accident. Leave me
Yeah.
alone.
And Sisko's just like, people need to believe it. For God's sake, just keep lying. But my actual list is Ro,
Yeah.
Kai Wynn, and Kira for, all the reasons we've already listed.
Good
So,
reason.
nothing new here.
Yeah, I was going to give an honorable mention to, I don't know his name, but Kira's one-armed friend.
Oh yeah, he was fun.
Pharrell.
That gets murdered.
Pharrell, yeah. That's
Yeah,
what it
gets
was.
fucking killed by,
Yeah,
By the Phantom of the
lamest
Opera,
villain.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I considered Pharrell and Lupasa kind of one.
They were
Yeah,
they're a great
kind of
little
a package
couple.
deal.
I vaguely thought about Odo's dad, but
Oh, more
More
didn't
Hole.
quite make it.
Yeah, he was also an honorable mention.
And that
for
actor
me.
is great too.
Yeah, he is. The flautist. Remember him?
Oh,
I don't think he had a name.
No, fuck that guy.
He did have a name, I don't remember.
What about Mr. Let's bring back the Dejarum, or whatever the Dejaras.
Oh right, the other
other
emissary. I
emissary.
forgot about him somehow.
Can't remember his name, but he was a piece of shit.
Oh, I mean, again, not there enough to make the list, but Terrence Stamp as the bad guy at the start of season 2 or 3 or
Oh
whatever
yeah,
it was.
he was really good.
Him and Kai Wynn had big, we're fucking and evil energy.
So evil.
And
Soulbore. Don't forget Soulbore. We
Name's
loved
familiar.
Soulbore.
I know the name.
Oh, yeah, the guy that Kai Wynn's assistant.
Oh, that poor schmuck, yeah.
He's like, by the way, Kai Wynn, do you know this is actually bum bum bum? And she's like, why are you saying bum bum bum? Bum bum bum! Gul Dukat.
I'm
I was
surprised-
very
Does
close
Gul
to saying.
Dukat as
I was
a Kai-
very close to saying Anjul Tanan.
There we go.
Yeah.
Damn it! If I had remembered about that, I probably would have said it.
Yeah. And I guess another person I just wanted to mention as well would be Kai Opaka,
Yay!
who was
in
you know,
Caitlin's
living her
fanfic.
worst life.
Yes, here's that poor
on
bastard.
that fucking planet where she can't die.
Yeah, with those horrible people.
With fucking Mike from Breaking Bad.
I hope there's a novel out there or something
There
in
must
which
be.
she has like made them like a decent fucking society who doesn't try to
Nope,
kill
they're
each
all
other.
fucking maniacs.
Damn
still. Just having their war forever.
She's there drinking tea ad nauseum.
Mm.
Can't die, can't do anything about it.
Her hat just keeps getting taller and taller and taller, though. First, she had that almost like nun's habit type thing,
Yeah,
but with
it
like
wasn't
a...
that tall.
No, I know, but for some reason I just imagine, like, for whatever reason, every time she dies, it gets taller. I don't know why. It just popped into my head, and I had to say it. Because
Head fin, like our dinosaur friends.
I'm...
Speaking of our dinosaur friends, next week we're doing something different for a change. So if you're expecting more Voyager next week, don't. Because we're going to do something special, so wait 2 weeks for our next Voyager episodes, because next week we are going to, because we just watched Distant Origin, and it only made sense, and there's a new movie that's out right now, and you've all seen it, and we're waiting for us to talk about Jurassic Park.
Dun, 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 dun. Ba, 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 ba.
Ba, 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 da, da. It's the Distant Origin theme song.
That's the national anthem of the Voth.
All rise!
Oh, see,
But
that's
it's the melodica version.
that thing we just redid
Oh
a
my
Futurama
God.
joke.
I have to actually learn the song on the melodica by next time we meet.
Oh, no.
This is bad.
But that's that Futurama joke where the national anthem of Zoidberg's planet is the
Oh, the Amok
Amok
Time.
Time fight
Oh,
music.
yay!
And Fry's like, uh-oh.
I thought you were going to tell me it was like the Red Lobster theme, but I don't know if Red Lobster has a theme.
They do now.
They probably had a jingle at some point.
Yeah, so
Anyway.
next week we're doing a 10 forward. Look forward to that. It's going to be a good time. We're going to talk about Jurassic Park. We might talk about the other movies too. We'll see. TBD. It depends on how many movies I watch in the next week. Should be all of them. And if you've seen the new Jurassic World Dominion, our friends from the Dominion, my
Oh
God,
my
guys,
God.
Star Trek Jurassic Park crossover.
Is that how the dinosaurs wound up mating? Is because they were actually changelings?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Life
So
finds a way.
So join us next week for that. You can check out our Bajoran talk over on the Tumblr, along with all of our other great Tumblr activities. We've got all the other alien races. Only one alien race to go before we hit the end of this Voyager season. Guess who it's gonna be?
Tellarites.
Cardassians? No, wait. I didn't say Cardassians. Who are those really dumb fucking aliens?
Packlets.
Packlets?
There's a lot of Packlets in Lower Decks, and it makes me very uncomfortable how much people love them.
Yeah, because
Yikes.
the whole joke is just dumb people.
Oh,
It's
God.
really
That's
uncomfortable.
the only joke.
Wow,
When we
they
get to Lower Decks, I'm going to be real uncomfortable all
really
the time.
missed the point of the
Aren't we
Packlets.
supposed to not think that shit's funny anymore?
Yeah, we're kind of not.
Aren't
but-
the woke
but-
among us supposed to be like, now?
Yeah, I mean, for all the people that bitch about
How
New
dare
Trek
you
being
have a
too woke.
black captain? You made Robert April black?
Wait, are people actually pissed off that Robert April is black?
Oh yeah,
They are.
yeah.
Who is this?
He's on Strange New Worlds, but he was
He's that admiral.
he's the admiral from Strange New Worlds. He was in the last episode, but he was also in TAS. And he was drawn as a white character.
So what? He was actually pink, so they figured they could do
So
whatever.
that was my joke. I'm like, we already know that the colorist for that show was colorblind. So maybe just say
maybe he meant
he was always supposed
metaphorically colorblind, and he meant I don't see race, and that's why we can justify
There it
this.
is. Anyway, we're gonna finish wrapping it up. We'll cover Lower Decks one day. It'll be weird. Yeah, so all of our other stuff, check out on our Tumblr. Check out all of our other chats about Voyager and the other series. Caitlin's rewatching Deep Space Nine right now. I hope you're following along with all the podcast episodes as you go.
Of course.
Obviously, over on SoundCloud. Or, any podcast application, they all have it. So pick your favorite and do it. You can also friend us on Facebook. You can chat at us on Twitter or whatever it is Twitter does. And you can go watch the new Jurassic World movie. We're not sponsored. Damn it. This has
Which
been
makes
Ames.
us literally the only ones. And this has been Caitlin.
This has been Jake.
And this is always Chris.
Life finds a distant origin.
It's the
Spoil it now and cut it.
stupidest movie ever. There's a bigger alien.
Oh,
Apparently there are giant versions of the aliens.
That's real dumb.
Yeah, no, everything about this movie seemed stupid and unnecessary, and it doubly sounds it.
Wow, they wouldn't have fit in the big ship. They need a bigger ship. I hate that.